If humanity found out tonight that Earth had 100 years left, we would only have one option left: a generation ship. But have you ever actually thought about what that means? Building a machine that has to run without stopping for 1,000 years. A machine where people are born, live, and die generation after generation while it's still traveling. Is that science? Or is it just a slow-motion suicide mission? Everyone talks about going to Mars. Nobody talks about the real problem. If something goes wrong on the way to Mars, you die. That's it. One mission, one risk, one crew. But on a generation ship, if the engine fails halfway through the journey, it's not your death on the line. It's the death of 20 generations that haven't even been born yet. So here's the question I can't stop thinking about. If I had to design a ship in 2026 that cannot fail, what's the one thing I'd build that NASA isn't even considering? Stick around, because by the end of this video, the scariest part of this ship isn't the engine, it's not the radiation, it's something a lot closer to home. Problem number 1, size. To keep 1,000 years of human life going, this isn't a spaceship, it's a world. We need forests, breathable air, farmland, water cycles, and most importantly, we need gravity. Here's the catch. Space doesn't give you gravity for free. You have to manufacture it. The only realistic way to do that, with today's physics, is spin. You build a massive cylinder, you rotate it, and centrifugal force presses everything outward, people, water, soil, against the walls, mimicking gravity. Sounds simple, right? It's not. If our ship is 5 kilometers long and spinning to create Earth-like gravity, what happens to the people living inside it? Spin too fast, and you get something called the Coriolis effect. Stand up too quickly, and your inner ear tells your brain you're falling sideways. Walk toward the center of the ship. Gravity gets weaker with every step. Children raised near the ship's core could grow up with completely different bone density than workers stationed on the outer rings. So the real question isn't can we spin a ship? It's this: after 5 or 6 generations living in artificial gravity, will these people's bodies even be the same species that left Earth? Now let's talk power, because this is where most people's plans completely fall apart. Nuclear fission? Not even close to enough for 1,000 years. Solar panels? Useless once you're far enough from any star. For a journey this long, you need something that behaves less like a battery and more like a sun. That means fusion. The same reaction that powers every star in the sky. And here's the paradox that keeps engineers up at night. The more energy you generate, the more catastrophic the failure becomes if something goes wrong. One small containment error, one miscalculated reaction, and your generation ship doesn't just lose power, it becomes a bomb. A tiny artificial sun going off in the middle of your entire civilization. So what's the actual answer? Some engineers propose something wild. Instead of running the whole ship at full power for 1,000 years, you slow everything down. Suspended animation. Cryo-sleep pods. Most of the population sleeps through the majority of the voyage, waking only in short cycles. But that raises a darker question. If most of humanity is asleep for centuries at a time, who's actually awake to fix things when they break? There's a threat here we haven't even talked about yet, and it doesn't come from inside the ship at all. It comes from empty space itself. Cosmic radiation. Outside Earth's magnetic field, deep space is constantly firing high-energy particles that can shred through thin metal hulls and damage human DNA over time. On a journey lasting decades, manageable. On a journey lasting centuries, unshielded radiation would slowly wipe out the ship's population through cancer and genetic damage long before it ever reached its destination. So what's the fix? Some designs propose burying the living quarters under meters of water, ice, or packed soil.
using the same farmland the crew needs to survive as a radiation shield at the same time. Others propose generating an artificial magnetic field around the entire ship, essentially giving it its own personal version of Earth's magnetosphere. Elegant on paper,
Terrifyingly expensive, and technically unproven in practice, which means the ship's survival doesn't just depend on the engine, or the gravity, or the food supply. It depends on solving a problem we haven't even fully solved on Earth yet. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. The biggest threat to this mission isn't the engine. It isn't radiation. It isn't even gravity. It's people. Imagine this. 500 years into the voyage, 20 generations have been born and died inside this ship. Nobody left alive has ever seen Earth or the destination planet with their own eyes. To them, the ship isn't a vehicle anymore. It's not in transit. It's just the world. Historians call this generational drift, the slow erosion of purpose and memory over time. Why would a society keep sacrificing resources, comfort, and stability for a planet their ancestors talked about that no living person has ever seen? This is the true engineering nightmare, not a mechanical failure, a cultural one. If the people forget why they're on this journey, the ship could keep flying in perfect working condition forever and never actually complete its mission. So the solution isn't just mechanical. It has to be built into the culture of the ship itself. Education, rituals, physical reminders of Earth, leadership structures designed to survive centuries of memory loss. To build a world ship, we don't just need steel. We need data. We need to know how the human mind reacts to challenges. If you're watching from the US, you can actually contribute to this kind of human research right now. I've linked SurveyKey below. It's a platform where your opinions help shape future tech and services. Plus, they pay you for your data. It's like getting paid to be part of a pre-launch focus group for 2026. If you want to earn some extra survival cash while sharing your thoughts, check the link in the description. Which brings us back to the question we started with. If I had to design a generation ship in 2026 that could survive 1,000 years, spinning for gravity, fusion for power, shielding for radiation, the hardest problem to solve isn't in the blueprint at all. It's making sure the people inside remember why they're there, 500 years after the ones who built it are gone. So I'll ask you the same question I asked at the start. If you were designing this ship, what's the one thing you'd build that nobody else has thought of? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And next episode, we're breaking down the design nobody expects. How to build a society that can survive 1,000 years in a metal box. See you there.